Mechanical Engineering Department. Today we will study about the riveted joint and failure of riveted joint. Okay, so first is what is a riveted joint? First is riveted joint. So what is a riveted joint? Riveted joint is the adding of two machine elements or joining of two machine elements by the type of rivets. Okay, so riveted joint is of two types. One is your lap joint, another one is your butt joint. Lap joint and another one is your butt joint. So in a lap joint, what happened? In a lap joint, the two plates are placed in overlap position. One plate is placed in the overlap position on the other plate, and the riveting takes place. Here it is riveting done. This is your lap joint. Here it is your lap joint. Okay, in case of butt joint, what happened? In case of butt joint, two plates are placed side by side, and here we are using a cover plate. Either we can use a single cover plate or we can use a double cover plate. Okay, and the riveting will done on the two plates. Here it is your butt joint. Here it is your butt joint. Okay, so today we will discuss about the failure of a riveted joint. Okay, so today we will discuss about the failure of riveted joint. What are the different types of failure occur in a riveted joint? Today we will discuss about failure of riveted joint. Failure of riveted joint. Actually, there are four types of failure occur in a riveted joint. What are the four types of failure? First one is your tearing across the margin. First is your tearing across the margin. Second one is your tearing across the rows. Tearing across the rows. Third one is your shearing of the rivet. Shearing of the rivet. And fourth type of failure is crushing of the rivet. Crushing of the rivet. These are the four types of failure which have occurred in a riveted joint. What are they? One is your tearing across the margin. Second one is your tearing across the rows. Third one is your shearing of the rivet. And fourth one is your crushing of the rivet. We will study one by one. Okay. So first we will study about the tearing across the margin. First we will study about tearing across the margin. So before we will study about this type of failure, first we have to know that what is a margin or what is a marginal pitch. So what is a marginal pitch? Suppose it is a plate. Okay, here I have done riveting. Here I have done riveting. So what is the marginal pitch? The distance of a rivet from its nearest margin. The distance of a rivet from its nearest margin is known as a margin, or you can say it as value of marginal pitch is very small, or you can say if the value of the margin M is less than 1.5 d, right? 1.5 d. What is d? D is the dia of rivet. Dia of rivet. Okay, if the value of marginal pitch is less than 1.5 d, then tearing occurs across the margin. Tearing occurs across the margin means the plate will rupture across the margin. This type of failure is called as tearing across the margin, right? So to avoid this type of failure, we must take the value of M or the value of marginal pitch greater than 1.5 d, greater than or equal to 1.5 d. Okay, next we will study about the second type of failure occurring in riveted joint, and the second type of failure is tearing across the row. Tearing across the row. Okay. So tearing across the row. Just I am drawing a diagram. Tearing across the row. Here it is a plate. Riveting is done. Right? Riveting is done on the plate. Let D is the diameter of the rivet. D is the diameter of the rivet. Here it is center to center distance of two conjugating rivet is known as a pitch. It is denoted as pitch. Okay. Then the tearing across the row. Tearing across the row means in a single row, if the tearing occurs between the two conjugating rivets, then this type of failure is known as tearing across the row. Okay. So to avoid this type of failure, so we have to calculate what is the value of PT, or what is PT? PT is nothing but your tearing strength of rivet. PT is the tearing strength of rivet. So strength means what is the tearing strength of the rivet. So for this we are applying the formula tearing strength is equal to tearing stress into tearing area. Tearing stress into tearing area. Then tearing stress, I am taking it as sigma T is the tearing stress into the tearing area. Tearing occurs in which area? Tearing occurs in this area. Okay. So I have to calculate the area of this section. Right? The area of this section, what is that? So this distance we will get. This distance is pitch minus D. We get this distance as pitch minus D, and T is the thickness of the plate. P minus D into T. Right? Where P is the pitch of rivet. Then D is the diameter of rivet. Riveted joint, I can say, pitch of the riveted joint. D is the diameter of rivet. Then T is the thickness of plate. Right? So in this way we can calculate the tearing strength of the rivet. Capital P subscript P, and we are getting the formula PT is equal to sigma C into P minus D into T. Sigma T is the tearing stress. Tearing area is P minus D into single strap butt joint, single strap butt joint. Another one is your double strap butt joint. Double strap butt joint. Right? Here is lap joint, riveting occurs. Single strap butt joint. Here it is riveting occurs. Riveting. And in the double strap butt joint, here it is riveting occurs. Right? Okay. Then we will calculate about the shearing of the rivet. Okay, shearing of the rivet or the shearing strength of rivet. Shearing strength of rivet. So in case of a lap joint, what happens? Single shear will occur. Single shear. Shearing takes place only at one surface of a rivet. Shearing takes place only at one surface. In this surface, the shearing will occur. Means when the external force P is applied, here it is external force P is applied. Here also P is applied on the plates. P is applied on the plates. Here also P is applied on the plates. Right? So when external force P occurs, then what happened in a lap joint? In a lap joint, this upper plate tries to move. Sorry, this changed. Here, right? Here P is applied. Here P is applied. Okay. So when force P is applied on the upper plate, this upper plate tries to move towards the right hand direction. And when the force P is applied on the lower plate tries to move towards the left hand direction. Hence, there is shearing occurs in the rivet. Shearing occurs in the rivet. Here it is the rivet, right? Here it is my rivet, right? So in this surface, shearing will occur. Likewise, in a single strap butt joint, single strap butt joint, and also in a double strap butt joint, the shearing will occur. Right? So in a single strap butt joint, what happened? Shearing occurs at one surface of the rivet only. Okay, at the middle junction or the point where the two plates intersect or match. Here on that surface, the shearing will occur. Okay, but in a double strap butt joint, what happened? In a single rivet, at two surfaces, the shearing will occur. Shearing will occur at this surface as well as at this surface. Right? At two surfaces, the shearing will occur. Hence, in a riveted joint, in lap joint, shearing that is a single shear. In a single strap butt joint, here also single shear. But in case of a double strap butt joint, double shear will occur. Shearing takes place at two surfaces of the head. Here it is single shear. Here also it is single shear. But in case of a double strap butt joint, double shear will occur. Okay. Now we come to the shearing strength of the rivet. Now we study about the shearing strength of the rivet. So shearing strength of the rivet. Shearing strength rivet. Okay, so I am denoting shearing strength as PS. Shearing strength as PS. So shearing strength I have written is equal to shear stress into shear area. Shear stress into shear area. Okay, that is equal to shear stress is tau, representing shear stress is tau, and shear area into shear area. Shear will occur here. It is rivet. It is a rivet. Shear will occur at this surface, right? So it is a circular cross section having diameter d. So in a circular cross section, what is the formula for a circular cross section? Pi by 4 d square, and for number of rivets n is multiplied for number of rivets. Okay, but this formula is applied for single shear. This formula is applied for single shear. But in case of a double shear, what happened? In case of a double shear, we are just multiplying 2 into again shear stress into shear area 5 by 4 d square into n. Right? So for single shear, we are getting PS is equal to n pi by 4 d square tau. Here it is for lap joint and single strap butt joint. Single strap butt joint. Right? And for double shear, we are multiplying 2 into n pi by 4 d square tau for double strap butt joint. Right? It is the shearing strength of a riveted joint. Lastly, we study about the crushing of the rivet. Or crushing failure of the rivet. So last type of failure is crushing of the rivet. So what is crushing? Suppose it is my plate. It is a rivet hole, right? So after regular use, what happened? The diameter of the hole increases. And when the diameter of the hole increases, we can say that it is the failure, or we can say that it is your crushing failure. Right? For crushing failure, how we will calculate the crushing strength? Crushing strength denoted by PC. PC is equal to crushing stress into crushing area. So that is equal to crushing stress is denoted by sigma c into crushing area is for number of rivets n is multiplied n into d into t. Means b is the diameter of the rivet and t is the thickness of the plate. N is the number of rivets, sigma c is the crushing stress. So PC or the crushing strength of the rivet, your formula is sigma c into n into d into d. So in this way, 4 types of failure occur in a riveted joint. One is tearing across the margin, second one is tearing across the rows, third one is shearing of the rivet, and fourth one is crushing of the rivet. Okay? Thank you so much.